Hello everyone, this is Ether Dragon, and welcome back to another episode of Fire Emblem Heroes. So we are continuing our weekly shenanigans with Ether Raids replays, and so let's get started, just straight to them. So I was debating whether this week I wanted to push to tier 21 or not, because it's light season with air bonus, so that would be my best time to do it, and I opted not to because I only have level 3 Amphorae, not level 4, and that's relevant because I can get me an extra match if I play perfectly, so there's that. And of course it helps even if you don't play perfectly, it just helps guarantee you get at least 15 matches during the season. But anyways, let's get started here. Just your good old standard setups. In like this particular instance, people can just like use Noe to beat my team because I don't have much investment for actually like beating blue tanks. Does end up getting buffed, but nothing relevant gets out of it, unfortunately. So it's just Noe going to do her thing, and there's not much I can do about it, especially since we're affected by Panic Manor. That doesn't help us at all. The drawback here coming in, Nino is not able to kill, but if we had close counter advantage, that could have been a good troll for this team, but unfortunately our team doesn't really do much at this point. We do get the Wings of Mercy in, but it doesn't really matter again. And they're just gonna clean up here at this point with some chip damage. It's pretty repetitive at this point. I should try making a new defense, but I ideally want to do that once I get into tier 21, because I don't want to build a defense that works in tier 20, because there's a lot of defenses that work in tier 20 but not 21. There's a giant difference as far as I've heard and seen, because obviously you have to be somewhat skilled to get into tier 21. It's not just use blessings and auto. Well, it technically is use blessings and auto win if you use enough blessings. Like it's super wheelchair, man. You can just straight up go get minus 80 every day on defense and still make it into tier 21. Like, I don't know, that doesn't really seem too skill based to me. You still have to like win your offense matches and such, but chances are you aren't going to be getting minus 560, especially in tier 20. So at this point, we're basically not in a good spot. And they're going to go ahead and attack Nino with air, because obviously Nino can't do much damage to her. And so that's out of the picture. And so they move air out of the way, which is a good play, because obviously they don't want to get sniped by Legendary Lucina. Fortunately, Legendary Azura is going to live, and Legendary Lucina does not go to a good spot, but it's the optimal spot according to the AI because of shenanigans. So they're just gonna clean up at this point. Pretty easy win. My dancer's always left pretty much last a lot of the times. And there we go, Azura beating Azura in a 1v1 through TA, because science. TA definitely is not the greatest skill nowadays, but you can see at this point a lot of people have level 4 plus 1 forts, so it makes life a lot easier, because it acts as if they had plus 10 units, for example, if they're using unmerged units. Besides the HP, of course, but it's still pretty darn useful. ultra late game though, once everyone gets level 5 offensive and defensive forts, which is going to be an incredibly long time from now. It's going to be pretty relevant in those instances. Definitely just gonna go rush level 5 offensive fort though, because honestly speaking, once you get to tier 21, there's really no point investing in defense. I'm definitely thinking about moving the fort around, but I'm not entirely sure yet. I'm really curious as to why people don't like break say the amphoray and bait someone. I don't know, maybe they just find it too unpredictable as to what's going to happen here. Even with the fort advantage, she still does to Legendary Lucina. Cough cough, should have defense refined Kappa. Memes aside, seriously though, it's definitely pretty darn good. Unfortunately, Veronica goes after the Dancer because it's optimal for in terms of annihilating units, because if an enemy can beat multiple units in a 1v1, they'll favor attacking the unit with the more HP currently. So here we have this somewhat spicy Felicia. I've already shown some people this build. It's pretty good. I don't know about speed smoke though. I would honestly run like attack smoke. You can never have too many attack debuffs, Kappa. I mean, unless there's like harsh command or something. It's definitely pretty good to have that extra bulk, because if this Felicia were like hit by like chill res, like my Lilana, it would hit her for. You'd only quote unquote have 59 res, which is still a good chunk considering she has 50 HP. But of course, this is with a Light's Blessing and such, so a little suspicious. Veronica's just gonna attack here because no one's winning any matchups. So, as you can see here, Legendary Lucina would do quite a bit to Felicia because again, her defense stat wasn't that high. But Guidance here, going to help out Felicia, pick up the kill on Sheeta. And of course, it's an easy win from here. They can just leave Felicia to tank here. Unfortunately, Legendary Zera is not in range. As you can see, it actually wouldn't have mattered. But, you know, it's just those little things with positioning where if they didn't have X or Y, then I could have won or something along those lines. At this point, they're just gonna go grab the ether structure, not grab the ether structures, just pick up the kill. So it's another loss for me, and rip Rutger indeed. I mean, he has good BST for infantry, but it's unfortunate that it just happened to not align too well. And this is what you're not supposed to do against my defense unless you have competent tanks, because things happen. Haha. Haha. Yeah, so awkward. At this point they can attack with to barn, kill. Unfortunately, Fjorm's able to kill. I think Nino would have been able to kill if I had a close counter advantage, but that's unfortunately not a thing here. So Fjorm's able to pick up the kill. And memes happen, but I can't do much here. And here they make the really interesting decision to test the trap, in giant quotes. And at this point, unfortunately, Sheeta has more HP than Azura at the moment, so Tabarn's going to... Wait, that's not the AI, that's the... Man, I definitely am brain dead. Never mind, just don't mind me. But yeah, I'm not entirely too sure what kind of team I want to run for my next defense setup. But considering these kind of shenanigans work, I imagine anything I conjure up with some decent AI mechanic manipulation would net me some wins, to be honest. So Air is able to pick up the double here, unfortunately, and then they test the trap in giant quotes with legendary Lucina, and they kind of just go all in here. So obviously you know what's going to happen. Nothing too good. Lilina just wrecking face. And we get the reposition, which is nice, sort of. But of course, now Veronica's just gonna drop. And they're gonna pick up the kill there as well. And the Gale Force. So, rip me. Not much I can do, but again, they didn't pick up the ether structures. Which nowadays, honestly, is not too mandatory unless you are trying to climb tiers. Or trying to stay competitive in rankings, because there's definitely more than 10,000 people at tier 20 or higher now, unfortunately. It's a lot of noob fest though. can't overlook that. Definitely not sure what I want to upgrade in terms of structures. I know I probably just want to meme with my level 5 heavy trap if I can. Even though in this instance it wouldn't affect Faye or Versa. Like honestly, it's definitely an underwhelming trap for sure. Because there's a lot of ways around it. But, I mean, whatever at this point. So, they're gonna just have Faye tank Veronica. You know, that's pretty logical. And then you get this. And you get the drawback as well. So, Sheeta is still a threat. Take out Veronica here. Who's fine. And they get the double repo in. So unfortunately, because Lilina's in range, she's going to attack Air, and obviously can't kill. And Azura unfortunately can do some damage to Hector, so that happens. I don't think it would have mattered. Maybe Sheeta would have been able to kill Aversa, but I kind of doubt it. So Ripperino's there as well, and just more Ripperinos. That's pretty much the moral of the story this week. Good thing I didn't push for tier 21, otherwise I would have had a 0% chance of making it. Aha. This person's running Fury Vantage and Erica and stuff. You know, it's a pretty good team. You know, it only makes sense that they should win Deathless. You only lose units if you play poorly. That's pretty much it. So at this point, you know, just getting set up, nothing too special. And yeah, I don't know. Obviously leaving Azura out in the open to basically get freely murdered is not the greatest strategy. Here they go ahead and leave Lilina in range. So unfortunately we can't double there. Lilina versus Lilina on the 1v1. And unfortunately we do not punish with legendary Lucina because there's no applicable, reasonable way to get a kill off like that, so unfortunately rip. She is going to move in, but unfortunately again Azura can do some damage, so Ripperinos to us. Not much we can do here. And yeah, pretty much. If you have the forward advantage, it's really difficult to lose, although I did end up losing a match this week because I overlooked a bolt tower that damaged my Nino enough to get murdered by a Hoshiden Festival Makai or whatever she's called. So, and then there's Dancer shenanigans and Legendary Lucina shenanigans, because all my units were pretty close together. They just all got wrecked, and then it was pretty much left for Legendary Lucina, Micaiah versus Veronica, which obviously isn't going to end well. But here, Faye is not able to pick up the kill, so Nino can do quite a bit, and ironically, Nino just such a monster, she takes 0, and I don't think they damage calcs because they got wrecked. And of course they employ the optimal strategy of end turn, no lie. Definitely works. Memes aside, definitely not what you want to be doing. And they go for this play. Definitely, it's not like they had much they could do, so, at this point it's Lachesis, I don't know how to pronounce these names. At this point, we're going to get some attacks in here. And unfortunately, she is not able to double because that dank double attack speed bond, it's just casually cheesing your way to avoid the double. So they're able to pick up the win here. But they already didn't play the best, so it was kind of whatever. And now just another level 3 fort, and of course plus 10 units. It's just, I don't know, it's definitely funny to me to have Nino just guarantee tank these archers. I'm pretty sure their plan here might have been to kill Nino with Brave Lyn, but obviously they can't do that, so they have to settle for going after Legendary, or after Azura, which is definitely a viable strategy indeed. So they test the trap here. They have plenty of HP because of the light blessings. Yeah, but they still got affected by the gravity effect, but it doesn't really matter. Here, Air's not able to pick up the immediate kill, and they leave their units like this. I'm pretty sure you know how this is gonna go. Same thing every time. Reinhardt barely misses, barely avoids not dying there, thanks to the OP stat inflation. Here they're just gonna go on an all-out massacre. Obviously gotta take out Legendary Lucina here, who's a huge threat. And at this point, there's not much Nino can do. So, Ripperinos. And of course the repo isn't actually gonna do anything. So, rip. They play it a little strangely here, but it gets the job done, so. Another rip. And we're just gonna keep getting more rips this week because level 4 fort's OP. And just having light blessings for more stats. This Reinhardt looks pretty tanky, right? And of course the Versa and the classic Noe. Although why you would be using Moonbow beats me, and that I guess. I see some people running Lightning Breath Soul Noe with some A skill that does not like Steady Breath or Warding Breath. And I don't know, I find that definitely super suspicious. Because it takes her so long. So her dilemma is she either has too low attack, so she can't heal enough unless against a super squishy unit. But if it's against a super squishy unit, it takes longer for her to get soul ready. And then if she doesn't have enough, if you have too much attack, then you one-shot more units. I don't know, it's definitely a weird scenario indeed. Here they just go for the kill on Azura. It's going to work. Gonna get some derpy repositions. Unfortunately, not going to get the kill on Aversa because of AI movement order. So, nothing much we could have done there. And they're pretty much just gonna clean sweep from here. There's not much I can do. Now, of course, they were silly. They wouldn't move Noe up to the bolt trap and get herself chipped and all that kind of stuff. But Nino living by a sliver for the cheese. Doesn't matter, of course, because Nino can't one-shot any of these buddies. So, rip again. And just another rip. Another 4+1. It's pretty standard at this point, which makes it really difficult at this point to get into tier 21 unless you RNG very nicely. So, I don't know what I'm going to do at this point. So here, Tactics Room means Nino gets to attack. And fortunately, Azura is going to attack because she does some damage. And not much progress made here at this point. They can just go ahead and finish off Azura. And they go ahead and buff like that. Nino's going to rally. We're going to get a weird block breaking shenanigan. Not too sure what that was about, but they're just going to pick off Veronica here, which is perfectly safe because Dancer is no more. Definitely need to, if I want to make a better defense, like seriously, this setup is terrible, but people somehow still lose to it, even with like +10 units. Like if you have unmerged units and stuff, I can kind of understand that, because you're already fighting from a stat disadvantage. But when you have +10 units, when you're losing with the 4 advantage, it definitely looks awkward. It happened to me this week, as I said, because I missed the existence of the Bolt Tower and I happened to engage on turn 3. So that was kind of awkward. But I mean, lessons learned when we get to the actual try-hard runs. I probably won't make that same mistake again. Which is the big idea of derping around a lot and trying things in the chill weeks. Because that lets me learn a lot of things for sure. Here at this point, they're getting ready to go in for a big attack, but I mean, how well can this actually go? Here they go ahead and test the bolt trap, which is okay. And then they do some interesting tactics here. Use, like, this is okay, but you've left a lot of your units in range to die, so yeah. It's a little awkward. Here and at this point, Nina is going to chip air for a bit. And of course, that's going to allow Lilina to pick up the kill here by a long shot, of course. Chill res OP and rip this team. They didn't have much going for them at that point, but that's, as usual, that's going to be it for this episode. Thanks for watching. As always, this is Ether Dragon, and hope to see you all next time. Bye. Oh yeah, if there's any more replays, they'll be tacked on to the end of this.